Hi, everyone. Hello, dear fresh international student here in Germany, and welcome to the Germany Starter Pack for Students part, whatever part, and it's about making friends and connecting to people. I'm today with you. My name is Mika. I'm currently DEGIS president, and I'm originally from Belarus. You can connect to me on LinkedIn, so you'll have one more friend in Germany already. Why this topic is super important is because in one of the surveys for international students that was conducted last year, one of the biggest challenges, and probably, or most probably, that was actually connected with the COVID conditions here in Germany especially, was connecting to people, finding friends. A lot of people felt lonely, so we decided to put this one specifically into our Germany Starter Pack so that you have all the ideas that we in all of our years here in Germany collected about how to actually make friends, how to become a part of the community. So you have them straight away and you never have to feel lonely unless you actually want to spend some time alone. So in my personal case, I arrived to Germany in 2012. I just knew one person. It was a friend of mine who moved the year before to Germany. And he was even living in a different city. So I was lonely. I just knew one person. I also had a hard time connecting to people. And today, 2022, I mean, it's 10 years for sure. It's a long time. But I'm being a part of multiple networks, having a global friend circle. I'm a part of DEGIS, which is a German-wide community, and also part of ISEC. That was actually the first organization that I've joined in 2014 when I was in my second semester in university. So definitely a long way, and along this way I've collected a lot of friends and a lot of experience in how to actually connect to people, make friends, be it in on a personal level or even on the professional level, so networking and building business connections. And many connections that I've built actually during my study times are helping me now to at work and connecting and doing business and this kind of thing. So make sure that you stick to it. And after that, you will definitely know a lot of very cool insights. Before we start, how to take the most out of the session, also as in the other sessions, take notes and screenshots, create a to-do list, especially that one is important because if you're not creating a to-do list, if you're just listening to all the things, then 99% will be forgotten by tomorrow and you might remember them randomly. But the best is actually to make a to-do list, register on Couchsurfing, prepare my LinkedIn profile, make it better, and these kind of things, right? So please do a to-do list and also pause and think of your answers to the questions that I'll be asking you. You can of course also do it later, but I'll not make any pauses in this presentation. So make sure that if there are some questions, you just make a pause or screenshot them and answer them after the presentation. Yes, what we will be learning specifically from this module, first of all, what to be aware of, what are the things that are different in Germany, maybe from a different country, or generally, if it's your first experience abroad here in Germany, what to be aware of in general when you are traveling abroad and making friends abroad. Secondly, self-reflection. There will be a moment where you will actually realize, okay, what is important for me? Now, currently, I have so many connections and so many people that I have to ask myself more questions and reflect, okay, which connections do I actually want to keep? Which connections are maybe, from my far past and are not making any sense for me right now with my values and experiences. So make sure that you reflect there to know which direction you want to go with making friends. You also don't want friends that have like bad influence on you, right? Doing things that you actually don't want to do. So yeah, take your time there. Then we'll talk about student clubs and associations, as in my personal belief, it's one of the best ways to make friends and connect in Germany on a personal, but also on professional level. I built huge networks based on my engagement in different student associations. So I advise also the same to you. Social media and apps, clear and easy projects that you can participate in Germany, but also abroad. And last, tips and resources. Let's jump right into it. First of all, specifics of making friends abroad and in Germany specifically. So here's the list. I will go through things one by one. What to be aware of, first of all, there are many people in a similar situation as you. There are a lot of international students also here, or even Germans who are moving to another city, studying their studies, for example, in Berlin. They're coming from Stuttgart, moving here. They don't have big friend circles. So there are a lot of people out there who are actually wanting someone to come to them and say like, hey, let's be friends, let's hang out. Who want to be invited to some parties and this kind of thing. So make sure that you're actually understand it's not just you who are lonely and just arrived to Germany. So be open-minded in that sense. Most people are also friendly and open for connection. When I just arrived, I had some experiences where people were not so open to connect, and then I was like, okay, maybe people in Germany don't want to connect, but in the reality, people are very open there. Like Germans are also very open to connect. They're interested in different cultures. They might be willing to learn your language, or even just have international friends. So don't be afraid, and don't think there is a stereotype that Germans are cold and closed for connection. That's not true. It's, of course, it depends on the person, but here, assume, even if it's not true for all the people, just assume that, hey, everyone is open for connection. If some people say no to you, it's still fine. Don't expect quick results. While with some people you might connect quickly, with some you might need to spend more time to get deeper in your connection. So make sure that you're seeing it as a marathon and not as a sprint. Don't set your expectations too high. In some cultures, it might be super easy to build connections super fast. You just go to one party, meet friends. Next day, you go for a road trip through Europe, right? But in most of the cases, or in many cases, and also that's what people say about like Middle European cultures, is that it takes a little bit more time to actually, get deeper in conversations. You might become friends on a superficial level pretty quick, but for a deeper connection, there are more things needed, like talking about the values and really having some common interests. So yeah, the next point is also don't get discouraged quickly. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Be aware of different levels of connections you can expect. First of all, different cultures, but also ultimately, if we don't talk about stereotypes, ultimately different people also need different time. There can be a person from Germany or Brazil or Nigeria or I don't know, Ukraine, who are super quick and open and excited to connect with you as soon as possible. And there are people who are more introverted, who need more time to let you in. So just be sure that you understand what kind of levels of connections you're actually looking for. Do you want to have like quick acquaintance and let's say in the beginning, a rather broad circle of friends, or do you want to have a couple of deep best friends, right? How they're called. Then established friends groups of locals. That's also one thing that you need to be aware of. If you're coming to a country and someone is from Berlin, they grew up here, and so on, they will be definitely having their friends here. So it sometimes might be a little bit harder to get into their friends circle that is already established, but it doesn't mean that you cannot build another friend circle with the same person. I have friends from Berlin who I'm very good friends with. We got to know each other through ISEC, and they were in the organization. They actually found the people whom they connected to deeper. Then next part, use public events, hobbies, courses, clubs, volunteering, etc. to build connections. This is one's pretty straightforward, right? It's super important that you actually do something and don't just sit at home and hope that things happen. We'll dive deeper into that later. Intercultural competence and communication, something that you definitely need to learn if you're coming abroad. The way of making friends might be different than in the country where you came from. Maybe people connect through jokes, maybe people connect through I don't know, deep conversations directly. So just be aware of your own communication style and how you're being perceived and how people are. So just don't jump into conversations just as you're used to, but in the beginning at least spend some time observing and focusing how things are being done. Work on your social skills and confidence. That's also definitely an important point. When I arrived to Germany, I was rather shy, and I think I always was extroverted, but I was still not at that level that I could do a simple conversation or like cool conversation with someone or go deeper. So through my time, through also being part of different student organizations, I actually got much deeper into how to actually connect to people, how to start a conversation with a group where I don't know anyone, how to approach this person, the event, and become friends with them, this kind of thing. So it's something in the end I will be giving some resources that you can read, watch on YouTube, or do like a challenge course of 30 days or 90 days to increase those skills. And just always remember that networking the personal networking can be combined with professional goals. Right, so you don't always just need to find friends with whom you just spend your free time, but you can actually find friends who are interested in entrepreneurship and founding a business or digital marketing. So whatever you're studying, whatever your area of interest is, the more people you get to know during your studies, the easier it will be for you later on. If you want to stay in Germany, if you want to go back to your country, if you want to go to a third country, it will be a huge benefit for you to I already know a lot of people who are in this area, connected them on LinkedIn, and doing business internationally if it's your plan, or find an employment because so many people. You just ask, hey people, I'm looking for a job, and someone says, hey, I remember you from my studies, here's a job where we're looking for a candidate exactly like you. So make sure that you also see it from this angle. That's like the summary of it. No one can do it for you. Be proactive and don't give up, because that's the only thing that will make you fail. If you just give up and say, okay, I will not approach any people again in my life. So make sure that yeah, you're actually proactive. Go out, talk to people. Even if you get a couple of no's, it's still fine. Some mindsets and principles to make it even more specific. First of all, be proactive. Always do the first step and then wait for someone else to do it. Clear and easy. Organize something simple and invite people yourself, right? We're often waiting for someone to invite us, but actually it's if you have a flat, a couple of chairs or a park nearby, just say, hey everyone, I'm organizing a beach volleyball, or we're going to drink a beer with some friends, do you want to join? And then like that, you will be the one creating the initiative. Not everyone wants to be your friend. Accept it and move on. It's fine. Logically, evidence-based fact, not everyone wants to be your friend. Not everyone will be your friend. You can be on good terms with a lot of people, but don't expect everyone to become your friend, and it's also completely fine. If someone was busy once, doesn't mean they can't join next time. So I used to have this approach of or like this emotional reaction. I was saying, hey, they want to join, and then person said, sorry, I'm busy, and then I never invited them again. I could have, like maybe they were really, or most probably they were really busy. If the person says no a couple of times and like, get the feeling that the person actually doesn't want to hang out with me, then it's a different thing. But when the person says like, I would really love to join, but I'm busy, please invite me next time, then it's a different thing, right? Provide value to people, connect with them, connect them with each other, right? People are one of the easiest way to make friends and to connect, to create your network and community, is to actually connect people. If you know person A who needs B and person C who actually provides B, just connect them and say like, hey, did you hear about this person? She is doing breakdance. Cool, nice, I will talk to them. Just connect them. People who provide connections, who connect other people, who provide value, are perceived as more, I don't know which word to use, but they're perceived also as more valuable. Through providing value to others, you're obviously creating also your own value and social status. Let's put it this way. So yeah, imagine a person who've done a lot to you, or a person who didn't do anything to you. You probably will value more the person who did a lot to you. So try to be this person who creates value for the others, whatever way it can be, like supporting them, helping them with something. I was, for example, helping friends with moving from their flat to another one, just because I wanted to spend time with them, but also they were then thankful and helped me in another way later on, especially in a foreign country where you don't have your family here or your usual friends. It's good to with the support and spend time in creating value for your for potential friends. Then using websites, online platforms to find cool events and share. This one we already discussed. Then see it as an venture and an opportunity to develop yourself. Take it with fun. People say people who are moving abroad, they're actually the ones who are already having this special skill of connecting, finding solutions to the biggest challenges, because they were used to adapt to uncommon circumstances. So you're definitely developing yourself already here watching this. You're learning a lot of stuff that many people who never move out of the country don't learn. So don't take it as like, I'm lonely and I'm alone and I don't know how to connect with people. It's like, okay, that's my challenge. I will get to know a new person every day, or I don't know, every month I will organize an event that has value for people. So take it with fun, see it as an adventure, and it will turn the game for you from pain to actually gain. And then just one remark. Don't be too pushy, accept no's. If you invite someone somewhere and someone declines, people might either be really busy or just polite with you. So that's something that I've also learned right there in Germany, because I went out of my usual communication circle, my friend circle. So here you just need to understand, as what I said, the difference between when people are actually just polite to you and say like, yeah, I would like to, but I actually can't. And if they say it like 10 times, you have to realize it after 3 times already, right? Like don't be annoying, and don't over push. So just move on and spend time with other friends. Yes, here for your self-awareness, I will not go through, I will just go through all the questions quickly, but They're split in 3 blocks, and you need to answer them in this order, right? And for those, either take a screenshot or just stop here after each block, make a pause on the video and answer it for yourself. Ideally, take a journal, piece of paper, and write things down. So first, what kind of connections do I need? What are my social needs? What is my goal when making connections? What did I like doing back home? What do I enjoy doing? What would I like to learn for myself and my future career? So this first block, it sets you in the right mindset for what kind of friends are you actually looking for. Should you go to parties because you look for party friends, or shouldn't you go to parties because you actually find those party connections superficial, right? So me personally, I don't like going to parties so much because yeah, they don't actually meet people, or I don't meet people there with whom I actually want to connect. Or even if they're there, the connection that you create there is not what I'm looking for. Then second block, where can I find the people I wish to connect with, right? Based on the block 1. Which events can I visit? Who can introduce me to these circles? Because sometimes you already know the person who has access to the circle you want to be part of, but you don't know the people in the circle yet. So just ask the person to introduce you. And which clubs, associations can I join? I will be talking later about that. And third block, if something is holding you back from connecting, maybe you're like, you have to talk to a person and then you realize, I have a blockage. I cannot approach this person or this group of people. So what exactly is holding me back? Is it a fear of failure? Is it a fear of rejection? Is it a fear of social connection? Is it missing communication skills? Just understand for yourself what is actually holding you back. Which skills are you missing? Is it public speaking? Is it just general approaching people skill, right? It's also some kind of a muscle that you can develop. What can you do to improve the skills in this area? And for this, you can check resources at the end of the video. And who or what can help me? There are a lot of great YouTube channels. For example, Charisma on Command is the one that I really love. There are some friends of yours who are really good in connecting with people. So just ask them, hey, how can I do that? Can you train me a little bit in a friendly way, right? Then now let's talk about student clubs and associations. So first of all, English speaking, at least the ones that I know, right? I just put here the ones that I know. So first of all, DEGIS, that's the one that is providing to you this German starter pack, German Association for International Students. You can join as a volunteer to provide value to others, or just joining the events is also fun because DEGIS in different cities is providing events. If DEGIS is currently not present in your city, still apply, and most probably I will be talking to you to see if you could become the president, if you could build a chapter in your city, and that's also a great challenge. You can build your career already through being part of DEGIS, and at the same time provide value to others and learn a ton for yourself. So yeah, DEGIS, just a couple of words in membership at DEGIS. It's super flexible. It's a fully English speaking option. So we don't have any. I mean, you can also speak German with you if you want to practice German, and people know German, but it's all English. So it will not be discriminated in terms of not knowing English. You'll also not improve your German much, to be fair. So if it's your goal, then maybe you should also join another association or do something for your German. But it's super flexible, just 2-3 hours per week, depending on the role. If you want to go into leadership roles, obviously it's more time required. But in general, it's a great association that I can totally recommend. I was myself in ISEC, that's the one coming up next, and in DEGIS. And DEGIS is perfect for international students. You can also do a lot of things on the side. So yeah, just check out the website. Then secondly, ISEC, it's mostly English speaking. There are some roles like business development, for example, that actually require German, and ISEC is much more demanding. ISEC is a great organization. I can totally recommend it. I've spent around 6-7 years in it because DEGIS did not exist back then when I was joining the association, and I went there from being a regular member to being the national president and leading the whole organization. So you have huge chances to develop there, and it's mostly English speaking, but some parts will be German, but requires minimum of 8 hours per week. So you need to see if you have this time. Then IAG is also a cool organization. I have some friends from there who also later joined ISEC, for example. They do a lot of Europe-based programs. They're Europe-focused, but you can join even if you're not from Europe. Obviously, you just need to support this idea of European connection and so on, which is a very cool idea. They're also a little bit political, so focus on European Union specifically, and they're having great events all around Europe, great parties as well, from what I've heard, and you can also take different roles there. Then ESN events, they have great events for Erasmus students, but all internationals are welcome. ESN is Erasmus Student Network. I don't know a lot of people from there. I've been, when I was doing my Erasmus in Greece, that I also totally recommend to you, I actually participated in a lot of events of ESN people, and we even went to the Crete Island to have a great party there. Like it was called the Crete trip. It was really cool. They're doing amazing things. So join them either as a volunteer or as for their events, regardless of if you're doing Erasmus or not. It's really nice. And then International Club of your university, you can just check the international office page and find things there. Good. Then German speaking, there is Rotary, Rotaract. Most people there will be German speaking. Just check the website for more information. Also VDC, it's the Association of German Student Initiatives. They have also cool organizations there, like bonding, marketing, MTP. It's marketing between theory and practice. Students Without Borders, Lernfair, and so on and so on. So just check their site. They're linked on our website as well, on our partners. They're a partner of DEGIS, and there are a lot of amazing student organizations there. If you want to specifically learn, for example, super focused on marketing, then you can go to MTP or to marketing. If you want to organize student fairs, career fairs, then you go to bonding, and so on and so on. They have different topics, but they're mostly, you need to speak very good German, like B2, C1. Contact them if you're not sure if your level is enough, and talk to them. Then there are student parliaments like Stupa, ASTA, or specific degree-connected associations like WING is Wirtschaftsingenieure for economical engineers, and so on. That's also definitely a great option if you want to build your professional connections stronger in there. And there are some national initiatives that are rather focused on your country or on some specific projects that you're part of. So DID, student ambassadors, you can do it parallel also to other things. Local foundation, student groups, for example, there is the Friedrich Ebert Foundation Stiftung called FAST shortly, and they have like local student groups, and other scholarship organizations also have a similar thing. Then there are types of associations like Nigerians in Berlin, or Brazilians in Germany, or Ukrainians in Cologne, and this kind of thing. So you can join their Facebook groups, you can join their association as well if you want to be connected more to your people, to people from your country. I definitely advise to not just be part of those groups, because you kind of limit yourself to your nationality here. You don't create so many international connections, but it's definitely helpful to also be connected to your community in case you need some help or want to talk to someone in your native language. Then Association of Brazilians. I think that's similar to what I wrote about Nigerians, Indonesian students in Munich, and this kind of thing. So so more specifically Indonesian students. So then you connect to people in your age mostly, and there are a lot of Facebook groups from DEGIS. You can find them on bit.ly/DEGIS network, but also a lot of Facebook groups. So just look for them, type your keywords, and you will find something nice. Yes, for when joining a student organization, what is important for you to keep in mind? First of all, you can be a member of several clubs and associations, of course. There is no limitation, only your time and energy is limitation. So you need to see, okay, how can I not promise what I actually cannot deliver? You can sign up for the newsletters, follow them on social media to join the events and get relevant information. So even if you're not joining as an active member, even if you're not joining as an active member, still sign up for a newsletter. For example, for DEGIS, most probably you're already signed up, right? But even if you're not an active member, you'll get to know, okay, what are the changes here in German government? What is relevant for me? What kind of laws are changing, and so on. So apply at least for the newsletters. You can join the events. Events are the best thing ever. Conferences, this kind of things, definitely take them with you. You connect the best there with the people. And important, don't commit with your time to more than 1 or 2, in case, like, newsletter is one thing, right? Reading newsletter is 2 minutes, but if you join an association where your time is required, you're there as a volunteer, and then one association requires already like 8 to 10 hours of your time, then it's very unlikely that you will be able to actually do another one, or 3 or 4 at the same time, unless you're just free and not studying at all. So don't commit to more than 1. If it's totally necessary, then max 2, but check your time, because usually it's a focus problem from what I experience. Very important. Check the website of the organization, or ask them per email or message or chatbot, whatever, and define for yourself, first of all, how much time is required? How flexible is the time-wise? So in your exams, can you take a break, or should you still do something? When are the meetings? If the weekly meetings are on Tuesday evening, but you already have their classes all the time, or you have your job there, you're not able to attend, it doesn't make much sense to join. What are the language requirements? Any financial prerequisites? For example, some have membership fees, some have like this yearly fee, some have conferences where you have to go and you have to pay conference fees. So ask, like you can basically copy paste those questions and send it to this organization. What can I learn here? How is it relevant to my future job? What kind of roles are there? Can my engagement be accredited for ECTS as an internship? I did it with my president role locally in ISAC. I got 15 ECTS because I was doing it for 1 year, and it was like around 10-20 hours per week that I was spending. Also depends on your university and the organization, so you need to check it with the organization and with the university and with your faculty specifically. Are there any activities for non-active members? And yeah, like DEGIS, for example, has those events. Or do you really have this time and energy here? Be really realistic with yourself. I know many people who join and then in 1 week they realize, oh, I actually don't even have this time because yeah, it's just too much. 1 second. Okay, great. So some other initiatives that you can join. First of all, Vostel. There are a lot of volunteering options for everyone. Then there are some specific institutions that you would like to volunteer for, not necessarily student associations, but maybe an organization that supports homeless people in Berlin, or organization that supports animal shelters in Düsseldorf, and so on. You can join sports club, university sport. Most universities offer cheap courses. You can check events on Couchsurfing, Meetup, and so on and so on. Then to social media and apps that you can be using. Many people are using apps on social media to find friends, especially now with COVID. A lot of people actually started using the online options because you couldn't go out. It was complete lockdown, so you couldn't meet people. But super important, especially if you use like Bumble or Tinder or this kind of apps, to be super clear with expectations when you create your profile. So like, hey, I really want just one friendship, if it's your case. Then LinkedIn, not exactly a friends-making app, but can be used to find like-minded people. You can, subscribe to groups. You can connect to people and say like, hey, I saw you're also studying at this university. They want to meet up once. Can be done, right? Interest-based Facebook groups. There are like hiking trips or DEGIS Facebook groups where our members are constantly posting events they're organizing. Then there are two versions. There is Bumble Dating, but there is also Bumble Friends and Bumble Biz. So Bumble Friends has this special it's a special part of the app for people who are actually looking for friends, who are moving to a new city and so on, and Bumble Biz for business partners and to expand your professional network. So those two, I never used them much because I had my networks already, but you can try. Then some words to projects. There are some platforms where you can find really cool projects. I went to, for example, one in Saxony, Switzerland. I went to one project in Siberia that was a long time ago, in like beginning of 2010s, where we've been working in the forest and building out some cool things in the winter. It was really crazy and really nice, and it was fully covered by Erasmus Plus. So I didn't pay. I paid for some food and random things that we've been doing, but the accommodation, travel, everything was completely covered by the Erasmus Plus. So it's really amazing, and a lot of my network actually comes also from those events. So important for you to know, very often they're writing in those projects, hey, project call for Germans, blah, 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 or like countries that we are looking for: Germany, Portugal, and Romania. It doesn't mean they're looking for Germans. It means they're looking for people who are residing in Germany. So even if you're from India or from Belarus or from any other country, you can still apply if you're angemeldet, registered here in Germany. Then they're mostly fully funded or with only a small participation fee. You definitely need to ask before applying, like, hey, what's the financial side? Obviously, as a student, I didn't have much money, so for me, only fully funded things were considered. And then cool projects all around Europe and also all around the world. So that's something that you should definitely consider. Two examples: European Solidarity Corps, ESC, just check their website, subscribe to the newsletter or something. And the Erasmus Plus organization I was in contact with is Grüner Grasam. You can follow them on Instagram, on Facebook. They're having a lot of amazing projects connected with climbing, adventure education. They also help you to become a youth leader and this kind of things. Really cool, can totally recommend it. Then some last tips. Ask your international office, hey, what kind of events, how can I connect people? I somehow don't find, like, be super open about it. Ask the career service what kind of networking events are there. Can I join something? There are sometimes alumni meetings of the university, career meetings with some companies, so definitely helpful. Ask your fellow students or friends from other cities. Say like, hey, I'm looking for an association. Do you know something? Some people from another city are already a part of the association, so they will tell you, hey, just join this one. It's really cool. I really advise you. Ask on Instagram, on Facebook, say like, hey, I'm here in Germany looking for something. You can ask in one of the DEGIS national Facebook groups, or in your local DEGIS Facebook group, say like, hey, I'm looking for an association. If you don't want to join DEGIS, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but hey, just in case, you can, ask, do you know any other groups, anyone being in any other group by yourself. Then be specific about what you're actually looking for. Super important, because if you join DEGIS but you actually want to, I don't know, do a lot of sports, then it's not a match. If you're joining an organization for sport but you actually want to improve your marketing and networking skills, then it's also a mismatch. Some resources, I will limit myself to 3, but you will understand the logic and you can just follow the process. So first of all, book recommendation: Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of the best books, basics of, I read it when I was, I think, 17 or 18 or something. Definitely too late. I could have, if I read it at the beginning of my school, I wouldn't have all this, maybe bully problems and stuff. But hey, yes, you will learn how to make friends, how to make sure that people are actually interested in what you're saying, how to make people feel that they're valued by you. Really cool. You can check it most probably online or check a short summary on YouTube. It's really, really nice. Then secondly, YouTube channels. There are a lot of great YouTube channels, a lot of people providing amazing content. One I really love is Charisma on Command. Just YouTube it, subscribe, get all the notifications. They do a lot of analysis, and they even have an academy. The academy is paid. But you can, also from their basic videos, you can learn a lot on how to be charismatic, how to communicate better, how to impact people in a positive way. So I definitely couldn't do the same presentation for you like that a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's all what I've learned, not just from this channel, but in general from everything that I was doing. And one cool thing, if you're rather a shy person, if you're fearing rejection, but also if you're, I think every person can totally benefit from it. I didn't do it myself, to be fair, but one day I really want to do that. So Jia Jiang's 100 Days of Rejection Therapy, it's called. It's not a therapeutic course or something, but even doing some of them is really helpful. He just says, hey, for 100 days, every day, I will have a challenge and I will get rejected. So he had, for example, his 100th one was, I want to talk to President Obama or make an interview with him or something, right? And it's still going on. I'm not sure if you talked with him, but he had a TED Talk. He's super famous. You can check his YouTube channel. Just Google exactly what, or YouTube exactly what is written there. And there are 100 videos, and you can just repeat those. Not he's doing it in America, I think, so in US. So it doesn't, you cannot repeat everything of it in Germany. I would suggest you to the same, but create your own one that is legal and that will not put you into trouble, like asking for a slice of pizza for free, for example, in a pizzeria, or asking for a free drink in a kiosk, saying like, hey, would you give me a free drink? People say no, but then it might be said at the beginning, you have this negative reaction, but with time you will just become really, there's this word, unwithable. So it means that whatever happens is really not touching you. It's a really cool challenge. Do it and write me on LinkedIn if you've done it. I'll be super grateful to hear your feedback. Yes, and last but not least, super important. It's a very important one at the very end. I think at some times in my time here in Germany, I was too focused on actually finding friends and feeling and seeing like, oh, I'm feeling lonely. I feel my network is not enough. But you are the person that is that you need to learn to be comfortable with. And apart from having a lot of time to study anyways, try to develop new skills for yourself. YouTube, do this 100-day rejection challenge. Learn German or any other language using Duolingo and so on. There are a lot of free offers for you that you can be using. Then listen to audiobooks, do sports, get ripped, get super healthy, in terms of what you're doing. Go for swimming. Start growing your social media, for example, Instagram blog, Reels. You can create a lot. There are a lot of people who are international students who created huge following, and they do their Reels alone, like in different roles and so on. So that's something that you can monetize even later on, and get brand deals, etc. If it's something that you like, just use this time. And yeah, not always the time we spend with other people is so productive and so helpful, right? So make sure that you have your goal set, and we'll talk more about it in the LinkedIn and your professional building your career in Germany part. But yeah, that's definitely a big tip. give time for your passions, learn a musical instrument. I've learned guitar just when I came to Germany. Back in Belarus, I was working and studying. I just didn't have time for that. So I gave time for it now. There, my guitar is standing that I now can play quite well. Maybe we'll play it once for you if we join one of the DEGIS events. Travel, especially, was €9 ticket, but it's soon over next week. But it will be prolonged, and just enjoy the nature, you know, spend some time in nature. Don't always try to be around people. It's also not the best thing to do. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope that was helpful for you. Just feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, join DEGIS if you feel like that is something for you. And yeah, stay in touch. See you in one of the next videos. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. If you have any questions, just type them under this YouTube video, and from time to time, we'll be answering them. If you text me on LinkedIn, then I will for sure answer you if you have anything specific. Bye-bye.